it's your girl Mel-C, and you are joining me on the Sit Down with Mel-C. Kicking things off, I have a very special and amazing guest in studio with me. She is singer, songwriter, and rapper, Taren Carolus. Taren, thank you so much for joining me in studio today. I must say, you are looking good.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and I must say you look good as well. I would swear we like twinning over here, but it's just like
We are,
yeah,
blazer power, blazer power.
yeah,
In this case, it's not black and white, it's black and red. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
No.
Taren, you are a singer, songwriter, and a rapper. What is a day like in your life? Like, what's a day like in Taren's life?
For me, starting off, I would like to say I'm a normal person who's got
Mm,
dreams and passion like every other person, and that's
mm.
where it all started. And I think having to juggle between a normal 9 to 5 and also finding time to be creative with the music and meeting beautiful people like yourself.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
it's a little bit of everything, but for me, it's like so yeah, a day in my life is basically I don't really have a social life that much because if I
Okay.
do have free time, I'm always thinking about the next big thing to do, how I can be creative, what
Mm,
I can do to put myself out there. And yeah, so it's basically just a little bit of everything. But at the
okay.
same time, I try to divide myself, give myself to those who are close to me,
Of course, yeah.
while also being productive as being an artist and, of course, just a normal person.
So it's like
Yeah.
a bit of everything,
A little bit of everything.
making sure there's balance in between it all.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it's not like I've got to that point where I'm super famous right now or anything,
Mm,
but it's just like for me, I take note, and having being said that I'm taking note, it's that I know that what we see on TV and all the
mm.
kind of stuff, it's just what you see. It's like the aftermath.
Okay,
You
yeah.
only see
Nobody sees like the hard
yeah,
work that
it's
leads
like
to it.
that's like the final product. You don't
Mm.
actually see what really happens behind the cameras, and I think for me, being an independent artist and going towards where I want to be, I
Mm.
think I want to be more transparent. I don't want to just show people the final product.
Okay.
I want you to see how this started,
Mm.
how real I am, because
Mm.
honestly, you'll find people that don't know you who get to see the most nastiest thing about you, your
Yes.
career, your
Mm.
music. And at some point I was like, you know what, for those who know me, their opinion matter, and for those who don't know me, your opinion really
It
doesn't even matter.
doesn't.
Not that I'm saying that I don't love and appreciate those people. It's just that you don't know my upbringing, so you would understand my craft and
Yes,
what heart you
absolutely.
put in there, and that
Yeah.
goes like for anything that anybody does, whether you're an artist, anything, guys.
Mm.
It applies across all borders, basically.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you, like, I stalked you. I'm a stalker. I'm official stalker now, so you can call me Mousy the stalker. I checked out your Facebook page. I checked out your IG page. On Facebook, you've got more than like 5,000 followers. On Instagram, you've got more than 3,000 followers. How did you manage? Like, it's something that I think we all struggle with social media. How were you able to manage to like build up that following group and then also to maintain and be consistent, so that you not just have that amount of followers, but that your followers also grow? How did you manage to build up your following group?
Okay, so for anybody that's watching the video and having a listen, what one advice I would give you is that you have to do some research. And
Mm.
I think for me, even I'm still currently doing the numbers is not telling up for me because I'm not exactly where I want to be. But it's all about research, guys. I think you have to look at your Instagram and Facebook and see what numbers add up for the most. Then
Okay.
also you look at your algorithm.
Mm.
What is your fan base like? Are they more men, more female? So it gives you an idea what you're gonna play around with when it comes to your
Okay.
craft.
Mm.
And I think for me, yeah, I've kind of noticed that Facebook is more interactive, and I
Yes.
also think if you think about it on a bigger scale, Facebook has a bigger audience, even though Instagram is more popular. It actually
Mm.
has a more face
Absolutely. Yeah.
as a broader audience in terms of Instagram. Instagram, okay, cool. There's a lot going on in Instagram. You have your IG models, you have your singers, your
Celebrities.
influencers,
Yes, you've got all that.
so there's a lot to compete with. But
Ah.
at the same time, for me, it's all about. I feel like for me personally, I've never really been the one to actually worry about numbers because
Okay.
for me, it's just like I feel like you do you. People either
Mm.
gonna love it or they're gonna hate it. But unfortunately, to be very realistic, in the career that I am in, the numbers actually do matter.
Ah.
So that's where it's important for you to take note of your algorithm,
Mm.
who are the type of people that listen to your music,
Mm.
and engage with your followers as well. So that
As
kind of
as much as you
helps.
can.
And be what's this word? You've got to be consistent.
Mm.
And also, people need to see that you're out there. So if you're gonna do this, make sure that your face is probably in every magazine. I'm joking, but you've got to be the front face of your brand.
Yes,
So
yes.
so even people that doesn't know you will get to know you
Mm.
because of how you presenting yourself and putting yourself out there.
Absolutely. And although we want to say that like looks don't matter,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that is what attracts your followers, your
No,
listeners.
definitely. I
You
know.
know,
I like to throw jokes. I mean, look at yourself. I'm gonna make an example. She's beautiful. Okay, she's pretty. So I mean, like, who wouldn't want to look at this host every morning or
right?
listen to
Right.
her? And I think that goes for everything.
Mm,
Unfortunately, I don't like to. I don't like to judge people. I like to be transparent. Like for
mm.
me, when it comes to the hardcore of things, unfortunately, how you present yourself and carry yourself does actually count to the whole package kind of deal.
Uh,
If you're saying you're the total package, you've got to deliver as being a total
absolutely,
package.
yeah.
I also don't like the idea of having to say you in competition with anybody, but to a certain point, you actually are. And you've got to be consistent in what you do and show people that you
Absolutely.
are the best at what you
You
do.
do. So
Yeah.
it just all starts with you, how you present
Yes,
yourself and how you
yes,
handle
yes.
things. And also with your content, it has to be consistent and it has to be meaningful when posting it.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
when you started out your career, I'm pretty sure that singing was always something that you loved doing. You always wanted like to move into that. Is it like safe to say that? At what point in your career did it hit you where you're like, this is it, I'm on the right path, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? At what point, like what was that final turning point for you that had you like, this is it?
For me, the one point that really stood out for me was when my music got me to go to places I never thought I could go by myself.
Mm.
I think that is the most exciting thing to say because I managed to, I can't remember the exact year, but I managed to go to Johannesburg and perform there at the Imibala Festival, which is something that
Okay.
happens every single year. And the one particular year it was held in Johannesburg. So
Okay.
my music got me to go to Johannesburg, y'all.
Girl.
So, and also for me, it's platforms like that that
Mm.
allowed me to showcase my talent, and that made me really feel okay, fine. I've arrived in some way. It's not
Okay.
where I wanna be, but it's getting there,
Yeah, you on the right
and
path.
that was more than enough for me to know that. I always tell myself, if I was a whack person or whack artist, these people would never ask you to be,
Absolutely,
representing
yeah.
yourself or doing your thing. But I must be doing something right.
Mm.
Even though maybe to 10 other people I might be doing something wrong, but it took that one person to believe in you
Yes,
and to showcase that to the world, and you just run with it. You just have
absolutely.
to go with it and enjoy yourself.
And there's only room for improvement from there
Definitely,
on out.
definitely.
So I checked out your YouTube channel, and from the looks of it, I can see that you are an artist like who challenges yourself. You did a cover on Georgia Smith and then Halsey's Without Me, and that got quite a couple of views. Like you've got
Yeah.
400 views on your videos, on the cover videos that you did of Georgia Smith and Halsey. In terms of your music and lyrics, and you also transitioned into rapping now,
Yeah.
would you say, like, career wise with your music and your performance, that you are like some sort of a daredevil or?
Most definitely. Going back to your previous comment, it's all about improving
Mm,
and this growth. And I think with my music is such a broad spectrum that if you're brave enough, you can explore and
mm,
experiment and do what makes you happy, what you have
yes.
fun with, basically. And for me, it's like I'm not bound to a specific genre because I feel like I've done house, I've
Okay.
done rap, and I've done hip hop. So for me, I feel free when I experiment and I get to play around, and it gives you like so much room, especially when you're on stage.
Mm,
It's like you're not limited to perform one specific thing,
okay.
so you
Mm.
can play around with your audience,
Yeah, and
knowing
just
that
see,
and
get,
just
like
see
get
how
the
it
feel of
goes.
it. So there's
Yeah,
no point, especially when going into music, like you said, putting a limit on yourself because it's so
no,
broad. Like, putting a limit on your type of music, it will be like putting a limit
on
on Taren
yourself.
Carolus.
Yes,
So,
yes,
and
yes.
then I saw your diamond performance. And that
Hey.
was something to look at. Now, with your performances and also the type of songs that you take, I know that there's like a lot of risks that involve. There's, like you said, you don't want to limit yourself, but with everything going on, unfortunately, we know what sells music in our day and age,
Yeah.
especially hip hop music and whatnot. Is there like a certain limit for you where you'll be like, I'm only going to do this because this is who
Mm.
Taren Carolus is. I'm not going to do anything that Taren Carolus wouldn't do? Or are you like, well, you know what? It's music, it's
Mm-mm.
performance. If I've got to do it, I'm going to do it because I need to
Mm.
get myself out there. Is there like a certain limit for you when taking these risks?
I think the best way to answer that question would be I see my music as being an actor
Okay.
to a certain point. Don't get
To a
me wrong,
certain
to a
point.
certain
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Because when it comes to my style of writing, I always like to go with like with a storyline, or I need to first envision myself doing it or singing it.
Mm.
That's where that's first the starting,
That's the
how the
starting
build
point
up
in
to
your
everything.
career.
And then when it comes to stage performances, I think about, okay, the one thing I do know is that I look quite very young for my age. People always assume that I'm younger, and I'm
Uh,
not. And it's not
how
a
old are
bad
you?
thing. But when it comes to my music, I try to be more like the baddie, savage kind of female.
Okay.
And I tend to role play her more than the sweet, innocent one.
Okay.
It's because sometimes people don't take you serious.
Okay.
Especially if you are a female and in this industry, you
Mm.
kind of got to develop this thick kind of skin.
And you have to work much
And
harder
yes,
than a man would have
but
to work.
I'm an independent artist,
Okay.
and I'm a part of the pack called the pack, basically. I'm the only female artist in the group. So let me
So
just
you have to work much harder than everybody else so that you are taken
basically, but at
seriously.
the same time, I kind of feel like I feel honored because I feel like to be the only female part of my team,
Yeah.
it's like I feel the pressure, but at the same time, it's like, yo, I'm the only female, so let me play
So there's
around
a
with
reason
this.
why I'm the only
Y-
female in here.
but yeah, I know when it comes to costumes and all that, I like to play around.
Okay.
I don't, it's necessary, it's not. And also for me, it's like I try to be careful
Mm.
because you don't want to bring the wrong message across.
Absolutely,
But at
yeah.
the same time, I want people to understand. Sometimes as artists, we kind of like actors.
Mm.
We're not really that person who you think you see me
We're
in
just portraying it
whatever.
for the
Which
type of song that
you
I've
know,
got out, yeah.
especially the type of song that you're
Mm.
writing. So depending on the writing of style, the aim that you're going for, we tend to dress up for the occasion.
Okay, okay.
So it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, she's just like
That's
that.
who she is. That's
You
just
know.
basically like your alter ego. Like Eminem's
Yes.
got Slim Shady.
Yes.
Onika Nicki Minaj, she's got Nicki Minaj.
I mean, look,
Balkalisa's has got Cardi B,
we
so that's your
we
alter
all can
ego.
have a good look at Cardi B fix. She's the perfect example of what people would think Shay
Uh,
is and Shay is not. But the
uh,
truth is, they're just living their best life in
that's
terms of
it.
an artist. I'm sure
Yes.
when she's home, she's not walking around a thong or anything. But who knows? It's Cardi B.
You can expect anything from
Yeah.
Cardi B. Now, I'm pretty sure that in your career you've had like moments that when you look back, you're like, oh my goodness, that moment. What for you
Mm.
was like the most memorable moment of your journey?
Oh wow! I think for me recently, one or two things. I think the first time for me performing in front of the crowd and just embracing that, I was like, "Yo, this is what I want to do every single time." It's just, and also I used to do ballet back at school, so
Okay.
I had a bit of like theater experience,
Mm,
and just having to be like on stage and part of a production. That really excites me. So
okay.
that even pushed me to get into more even on the music side of things. Um, but for me, the memorable part is, for example, last year when I got to open up for Jack Barrow and Biggie. We to
Really?
share the same stage
Uh,
as those artists, and just to see my name up on the one of the artists, that was just like
that was
okay,
just it. That was
okay,
like,
we getting there,
yeah,
we
I'm on
getting
my
there,
way. I'm on the right.
you know.
This is the right path for me.
So for me, once again, it's about yeah, it was moments like that that really made me feel okay. You being recognized
Yes,
as an
yes.
artist, and you being recognized for your work.
And that's like the most important thing
Yeah,
of being an artist is getting that recognition for who you are, for your hard work and what you stand for. I
definitely.
can
So I
imagine
feel
that.
like it doesn't matter. I feel like I thank God every single day because I feel like if it wasn't for moments like that, you will never. It's also a matter of networking.
Okay.
It's about also getting like it doesn't need to be big, but it's also about knowing the right people
Yes.
and putting yourself there out amongst people who will be able to open up doors for you.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
always say, especially when it comes to our colored community, there's a lot of shade going around about racism and things like that. But I feel like at the end of the day, if I know Melissa and I mean like she's always putting her best foot forward,
uh,
and if I'm in a room of like people who's all about getting things done,
yes.
as for me, it should be an honor to give your name a go ahead and say no. I've got this girl. She knows what she's doing. I think she'll be brilliant at this job, and I think that's one of the reasons why I even got those opportunities. It's because of putting your best in your best self first,
Mm,
and it's also to do with how you carry yourself. Once again, it's
absolutely,
very
yeah. Like,
important how you carry yourself in this industry because it can either count.
For
against
you
you
or
or
against
for
you.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's and first impressions, it lasts. Like, I mean, someone heard you and someone was like, this girl is it. Someone spoke to you and was like, oh, she's got a good personality. And I feel like every artist
Yeah.
started like that. Like,
Yes.
she's got a good voice, so she's got a good attitude. Yes, she can relate to a lot of young women. So I think that's what it's all about. Now,
Definitely.
you had the honors of being a nominee for City Awards. You were also a guest on Algawa FM, the drive show with
Yeah.
Roland and Roshley. You're doing YouTube covers. You transitioned into rapping. You were a singer, a songwriter. You're making videos, content creator. What is next for Taren Carolus? Where do you want to like see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? What's next for you?
I think we all of us has gifts, and I
Mm,
think for me it will be a shame just to focus on the one specific gift. I
mm.
feel like there are different avenues I'd like to go into as well besides just the music. I feel like me and the music, we have like a love relationship. We will never depart from each other, you know.
Ah,
It will always be there. But for me, I would like to go into, like, starting a business one day.
okay, okay.
Also like to travel a bit more.
Mm.
I always say, God didn't create all of this as for just to be in one pond.
Absolute.
I
Just
always
net
feel
mate wees
you
jy.
you like you gotta expand, and especially if you're a young person listening, yo, please, 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 I'm begging you, please take it. Look at opportunities to travel, guys.
Mm.
Travel and do life. Get out there. Do what you want to do. It's so important. I promise you, the town that you're from and based is not just it. There's more to life. When you travel and you get to do more things, your mind expands and you
Absolutely.
see life in a different way.
Mm.
And I feel like I just want to be able. Sometimes, unfortunately, not everybody gets the opportunity to do that. But I feel like through our experiences, some people live through your experience and they
Mhm.
admire that about you.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. Push, man, push. Just
Yeah,
push yourself to greater heights and don't give up. Doesn't
yeah,
matter where you come from, whether you a kid from the northern areas or growing up wherever you are. I'm just saying, plan, have a vision. 6 month coming ahead. Do what you gotta do, but be consistent at it and live your best life,
yes.
basically.
And don't just like have a vision and then just have a vision.
Yeah.
You have to get up and go and work to make
Yes.
that vision actually a reality.
Definitely, and
So
not forgetting also the people that you are going to surround yourself with. It's very important because the people, you know, funny enough, you can have people who's gonna support you, and you're gonna have people who's gonna like end up bringing you down.
uh,
But if you're gonna be a doctor one day, you've got to surround yourself with doctors. If you're gonna be a dancer, you got to surround yourself with dancers.
dances,
So
obviously.
it's all about you've got to be in a place where okay, I'm elevating to the next level.
So in the next 10 years' time, we're gonna see you at the MTV Awards or the BET
Yay!
Awards. We're gonna see you there,
Yeah, no,
and hopefully, I'm
definitely.
gonna be there to host an interview with you again when you make it. So,
Definitely.
if I didn't tell you about this, okay.
All good, all
So we're
good.
gonna play a quick game, just quick.
Okay. Ooh,
if
okay.
you could move back into time
Mm-hmm.
and speak to 10-year-old Taryn. I don't know at what point in her life she was at when she was 10, but if you can go back and be like, Taryn, listen, what would be the 3 things that you would tell 10-year-old Taryn?
Taren, my friend, my best friend, I would definitely tell you to not be hard on yourself. Never let your circumstances be the way for you not to move into the direction that you want to be. Stay away from boys; they're not a good influence.
Guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm like, if I could go back then to my 10-year-old me, I would take the advice my mom has told me. Focus on your career. Guys will always be there. Focus
Absolutely.
on your career, chase those dreams, and don't doubt yourself. You are good enough. Sometimes you might be like the ocean going back and forth, but you still gotta go forward.
There you have it. Young ladies out there, you heard it from Taryn Carolus herself. Focus on your dreams. Boys will always be there and never doubt yourself because you are good enough. What an amazing way to bring this to an end. Taryn, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you so
us in
much for
studio.
having
Thank you.
me. You are
We love
awesome.
and appreciate you guys. I hope you had an amazing moment with Taryn and I right here on the SitDown with Mel-C. Now, we might be having to wrap things up, but it doesn't mean that your girl Mel-C will let you leave the SitDown empty handed. Hop onto my Facebook account at Melissa Kutsia and my Instagram account at Melissa Kutsia01 for the takeaway, as Taryn Carolus will show us tips and techniques on how to exercise your voice or do a voice warm up before going on stage. And she'll also be telling us the pros and the cons of doing a voice warm up. and why it's important to do it. This is your girl Mel-C signing out. Have an amazing day.